So let's get started. So well done, everyone. You've made it to day 5. Wow, day 5. So let's have a recap of yesterday's training. What did we talk about? We talked about what makes sense as a property investor. What makes sense to the investor to get a good deal. We also talked about deal sourcing, the fully compliant website, how you need a fully compliant website in order to function properly, to do deals legitimately and effectively. And then we also talked about how you could actually get started on the program. And we talked about applying, and to apply, you need to go to bit.ly, bit.ly/122 apply. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, you can actually do that now. Let's just make some adjustments here. Okay. All right. So today, we're going to be talking about how to find investors. Everybody all week has been asking this question. How do we find these lovely investors that are going to give us all of this money? How do we find them? So let me put you out of your misery and show you some of the ways you can find investors. They're all around you. So let's look at them. Family members. When you structure your deal properly, you could present your deal to a family member and they would become an investor. A lot of family members have got savings. They're not quite sure what they want to do with it. They've got a pension pot. They want to invest, but the money's in the bank and it's not really doing much in the bank for them. The interest rates are appalling at the moment. So family members are good people to approach, but you have to approach them properly, and it's got to be done legitimately, and you've got to present it in the right way. Work colleagues exactly the same. Work colleagues are just like you. They've got money. They want to do business with that money, but they're not quite sure how to do it. So you can introduce them. I've just joined a program. We are doing property investing. We source property for investors who want to make a good return on their money, and we can show you how you can get a good return on your money. And you show them what you're doing, and you openly show them how it can be done, and they will become an investor. Your contacts. How many contacts do you have in your phone? You've got hundreds of contacts in your phone. These people, most of them are in this pandemic thinking of what can we do to get extra money? Our money's in the bank, it's not doing anything. We've got a pension, it's not doing anything. How else can we make some money without us doing any extra work? So they put their money to work. So they'll give their money to you by buying a deal, and then you'll put their money to work by presenting them a deal and packaging that deal for them that actually makes a revenue for them, makes a cash flow for them. So your contacts are another source of property investor. Your Facebook group. So if you're in a Facebook group, you can put it out there and say, I'm actually invested in property now. Hit me up. Let's have a chat, and I'll talk you through what I'm doing. But there is, I have to put a caveat in place. There is a way that you must do this, because if you do it the wrong way, it will come out like you're trying to rip people off, or it will come out like it's not legitimate. And if you haven't got all the, if you're not legitimate with all your compliance, you would actually be doing this illegally. So there is a way to do this properly. You have to structure properly and do it properly. So we explain all that in the program and how to do that properly. So don't just go out there and just spam all your friends and all your colleagues and all your family. I've got this great idea, and then you have no concrete ground to do it. So it's got to be done very well and done properly. Bear that in mind, please. LinkedIn is another very great source. There's a lot of business people there, people that are working professionals there that can be actually approached and spoken to in the right way, could actually become investors as well. And your WhatsApp, you can change your status. I've done this myself. You change your status on your phone, and you say, this is what I'm doing. Anyone interested, just hit me a message and we can have a quick chat. So this is what you call your warm list. Your warm list is easier to do business with because they know you already. And if you're doing something that's genuinely going to help them, then they will patronize you and listen to what you have to say, and be able to become an investor. So once you've got these investors in place and you've gone through all the compliance and you've made sure that you're you're fully legitimate and you're doing things properly. You've used the scripts, you've got the proper scripts that you've sent out to them, they've responded and they're on board. So how do you qualify these investors? Because there's no point having these people and they say, yeah, I want to be an investor. Yes, I'm an investor. Yes, yes, yes. And then you get this great package, you'll get the deal for them and you present it to them and they're like, oh, I'm not ready. So you need to qualify these investors. So let's look at some qualifying tips on how we can do that. Have they got a credit file ready yet? If they haven't, you can tell them to go and get a credit file. There's certain agencies that they can use to make sure that they've got a credit file ready, so they will go through credit checking quite quickly, for them to be able to get a mortgage, or depending on which route that they take. So credit file is really important. Do they have the deposit ready if they're getting a mortgage? If they're doing a buy-to-let, for example, they need a 25% deposit. So are they liquid? Do they have this money? If they haven't got this money to invest in the property in this way, then it might be that you have to give them a different type of deal. Some of the deals you can do not require a mortgage or require heavy deposits. Those are explained in the program as well, how you can do that. You do need a bit of in-depth knowledge and knowing how to do that. But for example, if they are buying a property with a mortgage, they're going to need 25% deposit. And if they haven't got that deposit in place, they won't be able to do any business. So you need to make sure that they've got that mortgage in place, that deposit in place for the mortgage. AIP, MIP. AIP is an agreement in principle. MIP is mortgage in principle. So has the mortgage been granted for them? Are they eligible to get a mortgage? Because there's no point giving an investor a deal and he can't follow through, because if he can't follow through or she can't follow through, then you're not going to get paid as a deal source. So you won't be able to actually get your money from them. So it's very important that these things are in place. POF is proof of funds. Can they provide proof? Have they got the money in their account? Can they show you proof of funds to say that they've actually got this money available? A lot of people give it talk. Yeah, I've got this, I've got that, da 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 da. Then when it comes to the crunch, they haven't got the money. They can't actually produce the money to say that they've got proof of funds. When you're dealing with agents, the agents are going to ask you exactly the same thing. Do they have proof of funds to say that they've got the deposit ready, or if they're buying cash, they've got the cash ready? So these are other things that need to be ready to qualify investors. And do they have a solicitor in place? Do they have a solicitor that they've used before? If not, you can help them by recommending one from our team. We've got fast solicitors that we use that you can actually use and recommend for them to use as well. So do they have a solicitor in place? Once you have all these things in place, you're halfway there, because the buying process takes between 12 weeks and 16 weeks to go through. But if you have all of these things ticked, you can get through the process in about 12 weeks. If you don't, it could take 16 weeks. Sometimes it can take 18 to 24 weeks, and that's a long time to go through the process. So it's better you have things done proactively, and you have them done in advance, so that you can take them through the process quite quickly. In terms of you getting paid as a packager, you will give them what we call a 14-day cool-off period. That 14-day cool-off is for them to go and do their own due diligence. And then after that time, that money is actually, assigned, and it will go over from your holding account into your actual account, and it will become actually your fee. So there is a process, there is a way. It's got to be done properly, professionally, and you do it in such a way that the investor is happy and they will come back again, because we are looking at repeat business. We don't want to just do one-off business. We're in business for the long term. This is long term. I've been over 25 years doing business. You're in it for the long term. You don't want to sort of just get one investor today and tomorrow, it didn't go so well or whatever, or you just collected the money from them, and you look after them, serve them well, and they will come back and they'll recommend you to other investors because they had such a good experience in what you've done for them. So remember that.